GSMCT. Today we will be doing the reaction video of Connect. This is a K movie, and this is the thing. Um, this movie is actually on Disney, so you can go and watch. It's a series, it's a K drama, and we're gonna do the reaction. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit short story about this movie. It's about a guy, and they are like mutants, but in this particular series, they call them Connect. They have like this power of not regenerating by connecting. If you like, you're gonna see it in the movie. It is a kind of horror movie, I would say. It is a kind of horror series because of the rampant, somebody was going around murder, and he was just going around murdering people as a whole. And I'm gonna say this: we're gonna be doing a reaction to episode one. You can always go back and watch it, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened in the whole of the movie, and you can decide. So, spoilers alert: if you haven't watched this movie, uh, and you want to go watch it, you can go watch it. But other than that, if you want to hear about what happened in the end of the movie, after we finish this particular episode, I'm gonna be telling you everything that happened. Even I'm gonna be walking you through in this reaction video. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna stop there to tell you guys. Okay, the guy you saw in the beginning of this series in this particular episode is called um uh Hai Young Hai Young So. Excuse me if I butchered that name. And he is yeah, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna let you guys find out. But this is the thing: in the starting of this episode, I was kind of surprised. He just got kidnapped, and very terrible things happened to him. So we're gonna continue. And by the way, when this was happening, all of this operation that you're seeing over here, when all of this was happening, this guy was still alive. Like, that is why I say it's a horror movie. He was still alive. Even the guy that is operating on him saw him blink and didn't care. And he just continued just going on it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, don't you fear that this man is still alive? And he just continued going. So we're going to continue. Let's go. So I'm going to stop there. Yes, they pull out his eyes, and while it was still like the guy could see that he's still alive. By the way, he just took out his eyes. And I'm gonna say this Korean drama was very terrifying. Even from the beginning, you're watching this, you're scared. And you could imagine what kind of evil is in the world. And trust me, I'm just gonna say this: I was scared the whole time just watching this movie. So let's continue. And then they took the guy that operated on him took his body into a trash bag and just dropped him in the trash. But this particular scene over here, I'm gonna spoil it for some of you. This man is dreaming of putting him in a trash bag. But we're gonna continue because he actually did do that operation on that young man. And I don't want to spoil what happened later on, but let's go. So I'm gonna say this. He was dreaming of him putting the body after he had already done the operation, by the way. So he has already done the operation. And I'm not gonna spoil what happened over there and why he had this particular dream. But when that scene actually comes up, I'm gonna tell you guys, yeah, that's the scene. But the trash bag part where he actually dropped the body, that particular part was him just dreaming, but something else actually happened. So cross your fingers and let's continue. So this is like in the next day when they found the serial killer's walk and everybody actually thought it was an artwork. So let's continue. So I'm gonna say this: the person that actually made this, the serial killer, did a very great job. People were actually admiring the work until the statue started bleeding, and later on, the police had to take the body in, and to check what is happening. And he had like his signature on the body of the person that he actually turned into a statue. So this is the guy, by the way, that had that operation. As you can see, he's losing an eye, and we're gonna get into it. Let's just continue. So he is remembering. Right now, you're gonna see a scene where, in this particular scene, he's remembering what happened and how he lost his eye. So you're gonna see. I'm gonna say, embrace yourself, because yeah, the very creepy scene is actually coming right now. A very very creepy scene. So let's continue. I'm gonna have to say that particular scene scared me. That particular scene scared the living soul out of me, because you saw the two eyes that he plucked out of this man's body, and he just put it, and then he turned the tray around so that the eyes wouldn't stare at him. And I was so shocked that he still stood there, because I'm like, I would have been scared out of my mind. I would have jumped out of the window, because how do you turn the tray around where you plucked out somebody's eyes, and the eyes literally had the a mind of its own, and turned around and stared at you? Like, a lot of people would have shit their pants, but he just continued. And then the eyes actually started crying. I'm like, wow. Okay, let's continue. Oh my god, look at what is happening in the back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I want to vomit. Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to stop it there. Okay, that was a little bit disgusting. I'm just gonna say that was disgusting. Woo. I don't know why I can get used to it. Ah, okay, okay. I'm good. I'm good. Let's go. Okay, I understand this movie is interpreted. They interpret the movies from, you know, Korean to English, and yeah, sometimes I feel like the interpretation is not absolutely perfect, but they try their best anyways. Yeah, and if you're wondering what this movie is this series is actually a series. I think around 7 episodes. If you're wondering where it is actually in Disney, so you can actually go and watch it if you're interested. But if you're a fan of a horror kind of movie, it's giving a little bit of horror. So this was the next victim, by the way, that the serial killer actually had done this to. So we and he did so much more in the rest of the episodes. I mean, I would equate this movie to a horror movie in total. So let's continue. So before we get into the next scene of this particular movie, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. So the police started conducting an investigation, and they noticed that he had some kind of I think he might be working as an artist or something. So for him to be so good at actually assembling the people into this particular structure and actually assembling them like a monument, like an artwork, and they decided, you know what, they're gonna go look for this particular killer. Now in this particular next scene, the old man that you're gonna see in this scene is the grandfather of Ha Hung. Excuse me if I butchered the name. Ha Hung. He's the father, and the grandfather was getting attacked, and he actually interfered and actually tried to get the bullies of his grandfather, and the bullies actually did attack him in this particular scene. So let's go. So the thing is, he has an ability that if you cut a piece of him off, he can actually connect himself back. That's why I think the movie was called the series is called Connect. So they call this particular people connect that can you like their body parts literally go back to them. Now, in the whole of the series, I'm just gonna say he was very weak until the end. I think episode 7 at the end that he actually muscled up some a little bit of strength, but he was a push around. Like people could just push him around. And if you remember the first uh scene that we saw of that guy attacking him with an axe, those people actually check for people like him called connects, and also those people are still looking for him, and we're gonna go to that particular scene. We're gonna also get there, so let's just continue with this one over here. So they are actually looking for him here. So they were looking for him, and he actually went back. He didn't. It was not that he went back to this particular scene because he wanted a fight. He was going back to look for his eye. He was looking for his eye, one of the eyes that he lost, and or finding some kind of information about the person that has his new eyes now. So there is a guy that is with his eye now, and he's trying to find an information so that he can track down the person that is actually with his new eye, that is using his eyes. And he went back to the crime scene, and unfortunately the gang members were already there, and they're gonna pursue him, so you're gonna see that. Yeah, so he meets this girl called Lee, and Lee. At first, I was thinking maybe Lee was a part of the gang members because of this particular scene, but I'm not gonna be the one to spoil it for you. But Lee actually tried to help him, and she did something very horrendous that I'm like, okay, that is a little bit mean, but at least he can still survive and he can continue. So let's go. So the serial killer has actually killed a child. Like, this guy has no limit. Be you a woman, be you a man, even children are not off limits for the serial killer. That's why I say this is a horror movie. Children are not even out of it. Like, I'm pretty sure if he had a chance, he'd take a newborn baby too. Like, this guy was everywhere. And it was terrifying watching the whole thing. It was terrifying because I'm gonna say one thing about the movie though. I'm gonna say one thing about the movie. It is interesting because I'm gonna say this while watching the movie and being so afraid, like literally holding my popcorn so tight, I didn't stop. I continue watching the episode. Like, that is how good this series is. Like, you are watching, you'll be frightened, and then you don't know when to stop. You just don't know when to stop. You want to see the end because at the back of your mind, you want to see how they stop this serial killer. So I'm gonna tell you guys, if you want to watch this series seriously, start from the beginning. Okay, let's go. So I'm gonna have to explain this particular scene for you guys because this particular scene over here shows that he can still see with his other eye that the serial killer now has. So the serial killer had a condition. He had cancer, so he lost one of his eye, and you saw the criminals that actually took him and tried, like organ sellers, all these black market people. They actually took that eye that he left back, and they actually sold it, in the black market and all of that. But the person that bought that eye of his was a serial killer. So he can see everything that the serial killer is doing, absolutely everything. And he now knows who is actually with his eye, which using his eye, so he can see everything that the serial killer is doing, but not always. That is the thing that I didn't understand in this series. Why could he see sometimes what the serial killer is doing, but not all the time. So it's like he gets cut off sometime, and sometimes he can just see it. So we're gonna go. Let's continue. So I'm gonna stop here a little bit in this particular scene here. So the police actually saw him in the crime scene, and they saw him at the crime scene, and this photo was taken. So they now have interest. Now have an interest in looking for him. So they're gonna organize and they're gonna try to go look for him in particular because they think they have actually found their suspect. And this is episode one, by the way. You got a lot to go through. So let's continue. Oh, and that was the end of episode one of Connect. Now I'm gonna say this: drop a like on on this channel. Follow this channel if you're not, because I am gonna be bringing more. Even I'm thinking about doing Black Adam. I haven't seen it. Like I said before in my other video, I don't like going to theater. I don't like going to cinemas. I don't like going to cinemas because this is the thing. I rather watch the movie in my own comfort zone and have my popcorn and just watch and enjoy myself at home instead of me walking down wherever it is. And Avatar, The Way of Water is out now, and I'm not even. I know a lot of people are going to the theater and a lot of people are talking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until it comes out, and I'm just gonna put do like a short clip like this so that people can actually see it while I'm talking about it. I prefer having an example. I prefer, you know, when I'm talking about a movie to actually show like clips of those movies. Now I'm gonna say this is episode one. So I'm gonna say this. If you don't want to have me spoil episode two and the rest for you, I would advise that you actually go and watch it and then you can come back for the commentary over here. Yeah. So, but spoilers a lot for the rest of the episode. I'm just gonna say this. So at the end of this particular series, let me tell you, let me walk you through what went on. So he is now a target of the police. The police is looking for him. They are looking for him everywhere. And later on, they actually succeeded in actually arresting Youngsu. And this is the thing, what happened. He actually revealed to the detective, um, is it Choyong? My pronunciation is terrible. So he actually revealed to the detective at the end in one of the episodes that he was a connect. The man actually was shocked because when they arrested him, he was trying to explain that he has visions of what the killer is doing and that he can see what the killer is doing, but they thought that he was the killer. He actually went to the killer's workplace at one point, and that was where they actually arrested him, by the way. And that was when they started interrogating him, you know, and trying to make him admit that he was the killer. And then he said, "No, I'm not the killer, but I get visions." And then the detective actually asked him, "Why do you get visions?" And he said he wouldn't believe him if he told him. But later on, the detective said, "Okay, you know what? Let's go for a walk." And he actually, I think he actually showed him um what happens. And the detective was like, "You know what, we're gonna have to let people know about this." And he was like, "Oh, so I'm telling you the truth and you don't care about my safety and all of that." So he ended up throwing himself off the building because he did tell the detective that, you know, the serial killer was uh planning on adopting some schoolgirls for his next artwork, and he didn't want that to happen. So he ended up throwing himself off the building and then getting up, and the detective was so like surprised that this guy just smashed into the concrete and got up, like just got up like nothing happened. His broken bones, everything just got back together, and he escaped. So they were just looking for him after he had told the police that there is an attack that is being planned, and they didn't want to do anything. He took it upon himself to go to the school and try to like make sure that the school is closed. So he made a fake terrorist attack on the school. And at the end of the day, the news report actually was talking about, oh, there is a serial killer around, and please don't let your kids go to school. Children are being targeted. And at last, the school and many organizations would like close down for a while. And then uh I'm gonna say this. I just want to get to the end so that you guys can know what happened. I understand the story is very long. It's 7 episodes that I'm trying to break down here, people. So, um, after he did that, the serial killer noticed, and he was just like, "Oh well, nice try. I'm just gonna do something else." And he actually kidnapped a friend, somebody that was close to him that he actually knew, and tortured this man. And at last, the serial killer was try. Like I said before, he had cancer, so the cancer was eating him up. This time, his body was decaying, and the serial killer actually found a man that made that operation and killed him too. Yes, like this series is very dark. I'm not even joking. It's very dark. I'm not even telling you all what happened in the whole episodes, because there were many dark things that happened in the whole episode, and I'm just giving you the top of like very 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 slight um information on what happened. So, uh, he goes over there. He did take the surgeon that did this to Youngsu, and he actually ended up asking him about this organization. That is when we actually noticed that Youngsu might be an actual like experiment, like they experimented on people. That's why they are connects. And the girl that you saw before, she's actually a connect as well. She actually at last reveals to him they had like a connection. They started, dating, love, romance, and all of that. But um the guy, is it Hojin Soap? Yeah, that's his name. That's the serial killer names. Hojin Soap, actually, what he did was he actually kidnapped somebody that was close to uh Ha Hong, the guy. I mean, the name is hey, I'm sorry that I'm butchering it, but I got to tell the story. So he actually kidnapped somebody that was close to him, and after killing the surgeon that made the surgery, he actually killed that guy and went ahead to kidnap somebody that was close to him and tortured this guy, did some experiments on him, and then asked the, had is it Hang Soon to actually come, and because his body was deteriorating, he needed a new body. So he just told him about the appointment and lied to him that, what, if you come over, I'm gonna release this guy that is your friend that that you're trying to protect. If you come over, I'm gonna release him to you. So he stupidly decided he was gonna go. He went to free his friend. And by the way, I'm see there was a lot of fighting, especially with the girl Lee. Lee was fighting the gangsters. At the end of the day, she ended up killing all the gangsters that were after him. And at last, they also found out that she was a connect, and they wanted to go after her as well, because they thought, like, if you use a connect body, you could be healed, like, Hojin so, like Hojin so. So at the end of the time, at the end of the day, uh yeah, Yang Soon actually went down there to Hojin, and he had this creepy laboratory, like a very old space where he stays to do all of this nonsense that he normally does. And he actually tied him down and was talking about, if he accepts they can be one, all he has to do is he wants to replace his head. And I'm like, If somebody cut off your head and put their head in your body, that is not you anymore. That is that person. He just wants to use his body. So he said if he accepts, he wants to like take his head off and put his own head on Yang Soon's body. And I'm like, that's not you anymore. He's just gonna do whatever he wants with your body. So with that being said, he declined, and at the end, I think the friend, um, so the detective, let me not just go in front too far. So the detective actually found the building with his colleague. Then when the colleague died, and at the end, um, Yang Soon actually defeated, not defeated. He got into a fight with I mean the name then, um, the serial killer. He went into a fight with the serial killer because also the serial killer actually met Lee, and he was talking about, oh, if we get together, can we have children? And he was like trying to talk to her about, having kids with her, and she was not having it, so they ended up fighting. And yes, he gave her some hands and feet, he gave her some ass whooping, but at the end of the day, um young Hang Sung actually got his eyes back, and we saw that creepy thing that comes out of their body when they cut it or when they slice it, coming out of the serial killer's eyes at the end of the episode. And I'm gonna say this. Let me know what you think about this particular movie. I know it's long. I mean, the movie is a whole 7 episode, and I'm trying to tell you guys, what is happening. So let me know what you think in this comment section. Like and subscribe, and I'll be coming back with more. I think today I'm gonna be doing Troll, by the way, and later on I think I'm gonna be doing, Black Adam, because I'm definitely gonna do it. I've not seen it, so it might be a reaction video. You guys might be watching it with me at the same time. So let's get into it. With that being said, have a great day, and press that like button and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. And goodbye.